Okay, you might have heard this verse before, but it says, "Do not be unequally yoked." And I heard that a ton, like in high school and college, and I never gave it much thought. I just thought it meant, okay, God says, don't be bound to someone in marriage that is not a believer, because you're going to try to go opposite directions. But I've recently read that verse and studied it. And so a yoke is like a wooden bar that people would put on two ox, like oxen, ox. I hope I'm saying that right. But they would be bound together by the yoke. But if they were unequally yoked, one ox would be really big and strong, and the other one would be like small and weak. And if they were trying to go forward, they wouldn't be able to. The younger ox or the weaker one would just kind of like push a different way, and they would just go in circles. There would be no forward motion. The ox could not get to where they were going, and they could not carry the load to where they were supposed to carry it. So I'd never really understood that that's like what it meant. Like, if you are unequally yoked, you're just going to go in circles. It's not like God's looking down and being like, well, don't do that. Like, there's always a reason. So binding yourself to someone that's a non-believer, and especially in these high school years, in my life, was just such I said this earlier, like a training ground of like God was like really speaking to me. I was growing. I was falling in love with his word, and it was such focused time with him. But if I had been bound to a non-believer, we would just been going in circles. I wouldn't have been able to like full force chase after what I knew God was calling me to himself. So I mean, honestly, it's not the answer you're going to want to hear, but you'll go in circles if you're bound to someone that is not following Jesus. It doesn't matter how hard you try to pull that yoke and what you're carrying forward. The two ox can't do it. We can't do it. Like, if you're not equally yoked, you will not move forward, and you'll just waste your time. And we don't have time to waste. James 4:14 says our lives are but a vapor. They go by like that. So I wouldn't waste my time